welcome to this edition of School Notes. I'm Sierra Lewis. We're already a month into the school year, and so much has happened. For starters, Hampton City Schools graphic department redesigned the website. It has a new, fresh look, and it's easy to navigate. In education news, Hampton City Schools has been awarded a 3-year grant of $360,000 from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. With this funding, the HCS Science Department, working with the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, will implement a series of bay watershed education programs.
And why is algae bad? What happens? So it blocks the light.
Hampton City Schools are getting a grant of a total of $360,000 over 3 years. $120,000 in this first year is going to support a whole range of activities, including leadership training for 10 principals. There's going to be teacher training for our 60 teachers, and ultimately this program will support meaningful watershed education experiences for over 8,000 students in Hampton. So it's a really big deal. The watershed of the Chesapeake Bay is 64,000 square miles, starting up in upstate New York and coming all the way down here to the mouth of the bay at Virginia. Virginia has, of course, a whole bunch of watersheds: the York River, the James River, the Rappahannock River. All of those rivers receive water from their watersheds going up into the Blue Ridge and throughout the state.
The watershed includes all of everything that has an impact on the actual water that's there. Everything that flows down has an effect. It flows down, it has an effect on our waterway. It flows down, it has an effect on Chesapeake Bay. So everything that we do, from washing your car, from watering your lawn, everything that you do has an impact on the water. We want kids to get that understanding very early on.
Phosphate is like the fertilizer and waste that gets inside of your water. It's bad because it can help. It makes algae grow, and then it doesn't let the sunlight to the plants, so the animals can't eat and they can't hide.
We learned how the rivers flow into the Chesapeake Bay and how eels spawn in the Bermuda Triangle and how they make their way all the way back up and then respawn, and how fertilizer flows into the Chesapeake Bay and kills the animals.
It's a wonderful experience. We really appreciate the partnership with the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, and we're anticipating a lot of great things coming out of this partnership. I mean, when you look at professional development opportunities to collaborate with this organization, it's certainly going to benefit our teachers.
Have you ever wondered if there was water or even life on Mars? These kinds of questions were recently explored with Kecoughtan High students from the AAA Academy, connected via satellite link with NASA scientists and the author of the book-turned-movie, The Martian.
Well, let's talk about Mars and its past.
We are so excited because we're going to be connecting in just a little while for a NASA distance learning event, and it's called So You Want to Be a Martian. And we have our AAA Academy. The kids that are in that academy are going to be attending. We are going to hear from a board of scientists with NASA that are working on the Mars project. We are also hoping that we may see Matt Damon, who's starring in the new movie based on the book. And we're hoping to also hear from the author of the book. I think it just sort of all came together based on the fact that people are interested in going to Mars someday, sort of the next frontier after we've been to the moon. And now that they have discovered water, it's going to be even more exciting to see what could happen in the future. Some of these kids today that are visiting and seeing this may be inspired to go to Mars themselves.
We're getting a group of the Academy students here at Kecoughtan, and we're going to do a video conference with some scientists at NASA. Well, I think it's amazing the fact that we found water on Mars, and that makes me think that it's possible that we can somehow put some sort of vegetation on Mars, and soon, like in the next maybe 50 years or so, we might be able to have some sort of colony on Mars, because, I mean, just 50 years ago in the past, 1960s, that's when we were first getting into the space race and all, and we've put people on the moon. And it just makes me think we could possibly be able to colonize Mars.
Here we have a module called the Atmospheric Processing Unit, and that actually takes in the Mars atmosphere and it converts out the carbon dioxide, which is 95% of the Martian atmosphere, and it uses cryocoolers to freeze it out. Oxygen for liquid oxygen, or oxygen for crew, and then hydrogen, which can go back into a reactor, and it's a very sustainable reaction. So if I was heading to Mars, I'd like to know that there was a lander there waiting for me that had fuel ready or water ready for a crew or a return vehicle.
And this time, the mission is the most ambitious we have ever undertaken. The journey to Mars.
City School Division graduation rates are trending in the right direction as the division rate increased 4% for 2015, from 83.92% to 87.96% in 1 year. Superintendent Dr. Jeffrey Smith applauded the focused work of the staff for the continual improvement of on-time graduation rates. Hampton attributes the improvement to a strategic focus on tiered interventions and supports. For more on this story, visit the HCS website. Now here's your local sports channel Fall Sports Wrap.
A few sports are closing in on conference and regional action. In cross country, teams are competing at Sandy Bottom and Gosnold Hope Park to qualify for postseason meets. In field hockey, Kecoughtan still leads among Hampton schools as they prepare for the Conference 10 tournament. With Bethel rebuilding after losing 3 players who went on to play college field hockey, Hampton has improved since last year, picking up a couple of key wins this season. Phoebus is also in a rebuilding year after losing all-conference performer Scout Edmondson. In volleyball, Bethel's girls and boys teams are competing for positioning for good seeds in the postseason. Hampton and Phoebus are very improved, and Kecoughtan again is solid on the girls' side. In football, a new era begins in Bruin country as Bethel High graduate William Beverly returns to his alma mater as head football coach. The Bruins are in a good spot for the 5A playoffs. With no stars to lean on, Bethel will rely on everyone playing at a high level to improve playoff positioning. Hampton and Phoebus are both at the top of their respective conferences. Hampton is led by Javon Quillen and Daz Newsome. Quillen leads the Crabbers in rushing and passing. The Virginia Tech commit is trying to take his team to another playoff run. Kecoughtan is currently in the playoff picture as well. The Warriors are led by Desmond Savage and Jayceon Fugate. Kecoughtan needs to finish the season strong to keep momentum going into the playoffs. So come out to Darling Stadium and support your Hampton City Schools football. This is Wube Gabre with LSC Sports Wrap for School Notes.
Through social media, HCS helps keep you connected to what's happening around the district. On Facebook, students from Mrs. Funkhauser's class at Burbank Elementary learned different ways to graph and tally with Skittles. The Davis Middle School administrative team was on hand for back to school night on September the 29th as they greeted students and parents. Members of the Next Level Church spent a recent Saturday painting the cafeteria at Tyler Elementary School. Thank you to all who volunteer at Hampton City Schools. On Twitter, Aberdeen and Kecoughtan led the national anthem at the recent school board meeting. And here's a picture of Bassett Elementary pandas celebrating grandparents during Grandparents' Day. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to stay connected to HCS. Before we go, we want to remind you that the 25th Annual Warrior Classic is coming up on Saturday, October the 24th at Darling Stadium. Come by to support your local high school marching band and check out the competition from around the region. Thanks for joining us, and check back with us to keep up with the latest news from around HCS. Remember, it's every child, every day, whatever it takes. See you next time.